Q&A event. My name is Anamari Fanthorpe, and I'll be your host today. Today, I have Monica here from Contrastica, and she's a brand expert. So we're going to be talking about discover the secret behind powerful branding. Now, Monica has spent a lot of time in Europe and has come back here to New Zealand and set up her business here now as well. And so she's well established globally as a brand expert, and I'm looking forward to what she has in store for us. Now, we run these sessions a couple of days a week, just 2 days a week. Tomorrow we have a workshop, and on Tuesday or Wednesday we run a Q&A session. So if you normally join us in the workshop, this is a little bit different. It's a webinar. Your camera doesn't turn on. You are muted. So use the chat function or the Q&A function on your toolbar to be able to communicate with us throughout this session. And if you're tuning in via social media, welcome, kia ora. Use the comment section or the chat function, no matter what platform you're on. I'll pull your questions through, so get them answered by this expert. So thanks so much, Monica. Ciao, ciao. How are you today?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to see you and to have actually a conversation. I've been following Digital Boost for like a year, and actually I use some of your tips and materials. So I found it quite useful. So well done for established Digital Boost, and I think it really helps the community. And I'm so pleased to, bring some value to this community as well. So
yeah, well, I was really grateful when you said that you would run this session. So I'll let you get started, and I'll get the chats opened up on the social media platforms.
All right, so let's share my screen so we can see what I'm going to talk about with you today. So that's the title, as we said, is Discover the Secret Beyond Powerful Branding. So before I actually start talking about branding, I just want to give you a little introduction about myself. I know that Anamari did it, but just so you know a little bit more about my background. So if you hear a little bit of accent, yes, I'm Italian, but I've been in New Zealand for quite a long time. And I am a mom of 2 active kids, and I'm a wife. I love details and creativity, and this reflects on my work. I think it's probably because of my Italian DNA. I don't know, but I love it, and it's my passion. I work on this industry for roughly 16 years, and I've got a drive, a passion for helping driven entrepreneurs. And there is a reason why I actually want to help driven entrepreneurs is because I had an experience. I actually want to share a story with you so you can understand where all this comes from. So most of you know Coca-Cola, as such a famous brand. Everybody used Coca-Cola sometime in their life, but not many people knows about Coca-Cola 5x20. It's actually a project that they ran on 2010 they basically wanted to help the community of women around the world, to empower them and help them to become an entrepreneur if they wanted to. So their mission was, this is why it's 5x20, to help 5 million female entrepreneurs across the world till the 2020. Well, now we are 2022, and I'm so pleased to announce that actually they managed to help 6 million women across the 100 countries. So basically, what they did, they were coaching business skills and training to women, mentoring them. They gave some financial advices and helped them to other coaching and assets that could help them to improve their life and their business as well. So they cover up a lot of countries in Americas and Africa, I think. And then they decided to do an experiment to run this program in one city in Europe, just one city in Europe. They just want to try. And I was lucky enough to be in the right city. And so it happened, I think it was about 4 years ago. Yeah, so I actually ended up to meet the lady that was running this project in Dundee in Scotland, where I was at that time. And I actually did it myself, this course, just because I've been working for agencies all my life, but actually never run my own business. So there was a lot that I needed to learn. But what happened there that opened my view on on branding, the value. And I've always been loving the design and details and branding. But in this case, I got to meet so many women that they might have struggled in their life because they dedicate most of their life to their families, their children, and then the children obviously they grow up and then they leave, and then they feel like, oh my God, what's my purpose now? But they're so talented, they just need a little bit of a push, a little bit of training so they can start doing their own businesses, because they're all talented, seriously. And the story that come out from these seminars are just amazing. Anyway, so as a designer, I was able to coach them a little bit of branding, but also design some logos and assets that could help them on setting up their business. And so, yeah, and for me, what I realized over these years that you might have heard that 80% of businesses fail before in the first 2 years or something like that. And I absolutely think it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's so unfair, because I met so many entrepreneurs that are so dreaming. That's their dream, their passion. They put all the energy, investment on their business and fail. And there is something they're missing. That's the reason why they fail. The financial stuff like that. But what I can see that lots of businesses, they start with a logo and a website, and they think, yeah, I've got my brand, but actually it's not really like that. There is so much more, and I'm here today to tell you a bit more so you are aware the power of brand strategy and what branding can actually do for you. So it's not just the logo or the website, it's so much more. So this is my experience. I just want to now to just go to the next slides and talk about what actually makes a strong brand, because we all want a strong brand so we can raise above the water and we can thrive. So in order to, the problem is here that globalization, in the last years, globalization has just been a big thing. So many people sell probably the same things that we do. There are heaps of designers, even in Auckland, that they do design brand strategies as well. So there is a lot of competition, but each one of us has got something unique to offer. And this is what actually brand strategy also will help you to discover. So what makes us our brand strong? And I will tell you in a second. And bye-bye, is differentiation. Differentiation is actually the key for a business to stand out. So basically, it reflects your brand personality, your value, your promises, the way the things and the key characters of your brand. So what we need to consider, firstly, we need to be authentic. We need to have, this is actually where the brand strategy will help you out. We need to be innovative. We need to have new idea, fresh idea. We need to be specific. If you're too generic, then you faint it away. So you need to be specific. And also you need to have a unique brand story. Everybody loves stories. That is your power. Your story is your power. We are all individual. We're all different from each other. And we all have unique experiences. So that is your unique power. Just use it. Put it on your brand and mold it together, because that is what makes also that unique. And last, but we can't forget, we need to solve a problem. People will buy our service or our product because we solve a problem that they have. So we actually have to understand really who are these people, our target audience. And that's take me to this slide that actually explains the customer experience. Customer experience is what everybody's looking for. Customer experience is what actually differentiates you from another business that might sell exactly the same thing. Here I've got a story. Who is this guy? This guy, his name is Mario, and he lives in Mount Wellington in Auckland. What he does, every Friday, he jump on his scooter, on his Vespa, and he rides his Vespa up to, I think, Newmarket. There is a pizza place there. Where he lives in Mount Wellington, he's got a pizzeria just next door, or a takeaway pizza. He could easily go there, but now he decided to spend 20 minutes on his scooter and go and get the pizza from them. Why? There is a reason why, because when he gets there, it feels like it's at home. It feels like the music is like Italian music on the background. The owner greet him, like say, hey, in Italian, how are you? And the ingredient of this pizza, they are from Italy. So what Mario is looking for an experience that makes him happy. They may set up for a good weekend, you know? So this is what makes that experience unique. So what I'm trying to teach here, guys, is we need to understand what makes our clients happy, what they need, and we need to create an experience that is memorable, that touches their soul, so they will always come happy to come back to your service. So another one, look at it. This is Janet. Look at Janet. She's so happy. She never been so happy hanging the washing out. You know why he's happy? I'm going to tell you why he's happy. Because finally, if a washing liquid there will take off the stain of his white tops, but also smell very, very, very good. So actually, a research, I found it that human being, when I hand the washing, the first thing that we actually do is the smell, okay? First is the smell, and then we actually look at the stain if it's been removed or not. So by doing this research, the industry of this product, they realized, gosh, we really need to make sure that our the smell of our product is so unique, so people will fall in love with it. And so this is another way to create something that is unique, and another way that makes brand, you know, stand out. And also that's what it is, also filling up the gap. Sit down and have a look at exactly what you're doing. Is there anything missing here? Is there anything in my field that is missing that maybe I can help my clients or my customers to fulfill this gap? Filling the gap is another key thing of a strong brand. So just have a sit down and have a brainstorm, have a look at your competitors, but don't focus. I know competitors is a big thing, but here we're trying to create unique brands, authentic brands. So it's all about you, your mission, what you want to bring to the market, what are your core soul value of your business. So yes, look at the market, at the competitors, of course, but don't forget that it's you, your business, your authenticity, your uniqueness there, and just you can do this. Seriously, you can do it. If you're unique and spontaneous and you target the right people, the business just comes. Seriously, trust me. Right. So I'll give you so far a few tips just to have an idea what a strong brand is, but the key here that is what I want to prove to you, that it's not I'm setting up a business. Okay, I've got my logo, boom, I've got my website, I'm so good, I'm ready to rock and roll. Guys, there is a step missing here that not many people are aware of. So I'm here to tell you, starting up businesses or small businesses, entrepreneur, you know, I had experience over the past in Europe. I worked with big brands like Suzuki, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Penguin Publishing. Okay, I work with big businesses like that, and also with small businesses like with the Coca-Cola project. But what I want to say, they all have one thing in common. They all think about their customers, how they can connect with them, and how they can attract them and create this is called customer loyalty. You want to create a customer loyalty. What it means that if I'm your customers and absolutely love the experience that I have by, you know, buying your product, I will buy again and again and again. And also, I'm going to tell my friends about my experience with you. And then they're going to trust me because they're my friend. They know that I'm not going to tell lies or anything like that. So this is how business grow. So don't forget about the loyalty customers. So we need to start with brand strategy. What it actually is brand strategy? I can actually split in three parts. The first, which is essential, like it's the first block of your foundation, is knowing your purpose, your vision, where you're going to be in 20 years, or sorry, not 20 years, let's make it smaller, maybe in 2 years' time. Your mission, what makes you, why are you starting this business in the first place? I mean, we can't forget about this stuff, because this is what drives you on rocky time when things are a bit tough. Your mission, your passion, and that will shine through, because people buy why you're doing it, not what you do, because what you do, lots of other people do the same, but it's why you're doing that passion, that thing is inside you. So that's why it's important. First thing first, sit down and work out what is my vision, why I'm doing this, and what I want to bring to this world. How can I make a difference? Okay. Second part is the positioning, which is quite important as well. Positioning is about your market, how you want to show up uniquely. Positioning is basically most of it is about how you want to show up differently from your competitors, for example. The third part is the communication. Communication is verbally, it's visually. The images can say 1,000 words. Like now we all are on our social media scrolling. We might not even look at the text, but we might connect straight away with an image, like a split of a second, because people are so busy, they're always scrolling. If you put an image on it that is actually related to your customers, that it brings the emotion that you want to connect them with, they will actually stop, they will actually feel it, because that's the power of the visual, but also the power of words. We can't forget that. So as you see, there is, I'm just scratching the surface here. There is much more to know, but just so I'm sending a bit of awareness, what's all behind it. So what brand strategy does, that will bring clarity, because you know your direction, you know who you want to do business with, you have clarity, you have direction, and give you the confidence. What I mean with confidence is when you have a product that you are sure that you feel like it's unique, it's tailored to your mission, to your business, to your values, you're confident that what you do is unique, is authentic, is you can show up as an authority. If you're a coach or whatever. Confidence is also a key. Being comfortable with your product and knowing that you represent the best what you do. Okay, so next slide is, we're actually talking, sorry, before, I've just jumped a little bit here. When you do positioning, the key here is to niche down, okay? We know that the market is big. We can make everybody's happy. We need to niche down. We need to be specific in one thing that we do, and we need to do that very, 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 very well. Okay, so we need to be expert on that particular thing. Okay, so if it's a customer that need that specific thing, they will come with you because they feel they're confident that you can deliver what they're looking for. And here is when we start talking about the target audience. Target audience is that specific crowd that you want to do business with, okay? Look at this picture. Who are these people? They're having fun. Who are these people? These people are as your crowd, okay? These people are so loyal to you. They cheer for you. They love your product. They love your service. They drive miles away just to come and use your service. They book in advance your service, you know. I mean, I just put a picture of a concert here as a little bit of an analogy, but for example, I don't know. For example, just because this is about music here, but if you are a rock band, for example, you're not going to advertise your concert into an opera house or in an opera environment, a classical music environment. You know, you might advertise that on pubs or in different social medias. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is we need to be specific, because once you find your crowd, they will follow you forever, okay? And this is what we want. We want loyalty, okay? And we can do this because we know where we're going to go. We are very clear on our mission. We are very clear on our values. And so we're going to show that through our visuals and that. And so these people really can connect with it. And they're happy because we think the same. So basically, what I'm trying to say here as a brand strategist, we got these things called archetypes. Okay, I don't know if you have heard about that before, but this is actually what makes a brand a persona. Okay, guys, we know that we do business with people. Without people, we don't have a business. So our brand needs to have that humanity on it. So our customers or our potential customer, our prospect, can actually connect with that. So a way for us brand strategists to connect your brand with your potential client is to use archetypes. Okay, archetypes. It doesn't matter the size of your business. Could it be a big business like Suzuki? Could be a big business like Coca-Cola, but could be a smaller business like the bakery up the road or a restaurant down in town. Doesn't matter. We all need to have a niche and have a target, have an archetype. Okay, and so this is what we do. What we do as a brand strategist, and so we give a perception of a service to the crowd. Okay. So, and as a brand strategist, I can tell you that we normally have like 12 type of archetypes. And now we got limited time, but I'm very happy to talk about that in a different session. But today I just want to focus on 3 archetypes because I just want to give you a little bit of grasp what's all about, okay? Because for some of you it's just something new. It's just a new thing. I never heard about that before. So let's talk about, I'm going to talk, my first archetype that I want to talk about today is the hero. Okay, look at this happy dad. The hero absolutely love mastery. Okay, so the hero don't back down, love challenges, love courage, love honesty, love bravery. This is a type of personality that maybe your brand has, or maybe you have it, one of the other 12. Okay, but what actually does mastery, what the hero is, just want to show you the second one, is if you can say that in a few words, I will say that is where there is a will, there is a way. Okay, so as a personality of this brand, I would say, is they're driven by growth, courage, development, mastery. They are fearful of downfalling, incapacity, of incompetence, but their goal is to get better and stronger. This is a type of actually of brand that you might see on outdoor sports equipment, emergency trade services as well, that like a plumber or electrician, for example. So they basically, they're quite determined, and they just want to save the day. Okay, well, can you imagine if you have a leaky tap and then the plumber come and fix it? It really set up your day for a good start, isn't it? So let's have a look at example of hero. What Nike, just do it. Just send a big brand here. Serena Williams here, they said on this poster, in this head, if you think your dreams are crazy, show them that what crazy dreams can do. Again, you see courage, you see empowerment, you see wanted to grow, and so when basically you understand your archetype, you're going to use that type of personality through all your brand, which means on your ads, the way that you write your emails, for example, or your posts, on your taglines. If you have a little motto, it's a type of language that you use because you want to attract the people that are hero, or that are suitable to heroes. Okay. And so this is even the tagline of Nike, just do it. Just do it, So that's empowering. Just do it. Go for it, So there is a process behind this. And also, I want to acknowledge the New Zealand Post that just rebranded not long ago. I absolutely love it. Congratulations, whoever designed the New Zealand Post. And actually, I could see the ads taking the shape of, the hero, the post when they deliver packages that have been waiting and happy with the big smiles. So that's the hero of the day. And so I congratulations to New Zealand Post for your brand. It's very, very cool. Next archetype that I want to touch today is the magician. Well, magician is a type of personality that are searching for power. Power is a magical power, okay? Where there is a dream, they believe in dreams, they believe in things can happen. Things can happen. And you find this type of personality on entertainment type of branding, or maybe beauty industry. But they're very positive. They're really positive, and they're very confident, you know, and they're trying to transfer this confidence to the crowd, to the clients, to the potential audience, you know. So actually lately I just finished a project with a well-being mindset coach up in Scotland, and it was totally a magician. He just wanted to do good, and so it was so empowering on his speech. And then we brought all this language with this social media, and it was very successful, because once you crack it, once you found the perfect archetype for you, what things are just going to start happening. So open eye for this. So next, I want to say that if you might think you're a magician type of archetype, you might say or feel like anything is possible. Let's just say this is magical, anything is possible. So the personality driven by this type of business is transformation, knowledge, vision, belief, but they're very fearful of doubts and uncertainty, because this is totally the opposite what their nature is. Their goal is to develop a vision and to live by it. And so this type of if you can, for example, translate this type of personality into a movie, I would think about Lord of the Rings, for example. But if you want to think this about more on a branding type of thing, I would say Coca-Cola. It's a brand that is quite magical. Also, Walt Disney. You know, actually, an example here, Coca-Cola. On the ads say, you know, Christmas ads, the Coca-Cola, they've always been well known everywhere around the world. I still remember when I was little, I was waiting for this ad with this beautiful truck on Christmas, you know, full of lights and all that. And you see the words that they're using in these ads. Say, together, the magic happens. You know, they're already indirectly saying that they are, you know, a magic type of magician type of character, you know. And Disney, for example, is all about magic. It's all about this different world of beautiful things that happen, but magical, you know. So if you think you are part of a magical, a magician type of personality, but you know, transformation will be very important for you. The vision that you, or the belief that you wanted to transfer that to your clients. The third the archetype that I want to talk to you today is the ruler. Yeah, the ruler. It's a quite strong one. Because the value, it's more about organization, power, status. You notice this type of personality on, for example, on very luxury products. Could be even hotels, or could be cars like Ferrari or Lamborghini, for example, or Rolex watches. But you see this in that type of brands. Okay, so what they absolutely love, is to control. Okay, to control, have the power. Okay, so it means that if you have this type of archetype, you might attract those people that like luxury things. For example, they like a different quality of products, you know? Do you know what I mean? Let's have a look. Yes, exactly. If we can say in a few words what power is, it's for them is everything. It's absolutely everything. So they are very looking for success, wealth, prosperity. They're very driven. These people are this type of character is very driven, but they're very fearful of weakness. Absolutely no weakness here, or poverty, or yeah, sorry, I just wrote down weakness twice. I didn't realize. Maybe I wanted to emphasize the fact they don't like weaknesses. Anyway, and their goal is to be authentic, absolutely authentic, deliver excellence, leadership, and stuff like that. So you can maybe find an example of Giorgio Armani. I mean, I'm Italian, I couldn't put Giorgio Armani like the suits or. They have different products. They do sell clothing, but they do sell perfume, and they sell bags and stuff like that. But in any of the sector, there is all consistency through it. There is look like quite an expensive brand. Makes you feel in a certain way. Actually, even the product, the quality is amazing, you know. I end up to try a few Giorgio Armani dresses in my past, and as soon as you wear it, just the fabric is just something else. So, you know, it might be expensive, but what you pay is the quality, is the feel that you feel when, the sensation that you feel when you're wearing their clothes. And also, I don't know, a car also as well. If you're driving a Ferrari, depends on you. Depends what you like. Right. So I've got a question now for you guys. I've been talking for quite a while, but I've got a question for you. And I want to know, what is your archetype? If you haven't even thought about it, or if you haven't heard about it, what do you think is your archetype? But if you have doubts, and you want to learn more, or maybe you want to you know, do this right? Not waste more time on targeting the wrong crowd, the wrong people, and you want to go straight on your target audience uniquely and with your own personality, with your brand personality. Well, I've got an offer for you that might help, and I want to bring value to this community. So. This is just a limited space offer for 10 people only, and I will deliver this product for you. The value is $1,200, even more, because can you just imagine, once you actually understand who's your target audience is, and you start targeting them, and they're going to do business with you because there is a connection there. There is no price on that. But I'm happy to offer for $5.99 plus GST. And what it is, Anamari, I just want to tell about this amazing opportunity that I want to create for. Yeah, so it's an initial consultation, where we're going to talk, and I want to know about you, what's your passion, how you know about your business, so I can create this product tailored to you. Then we're going to have a personalized workshop. So me and each one of you, I want to, it's like for an hour and a half, we're going to go through the archetypes. So we're going to figure out which one is it. And then I will tell you exactly how to behave in regards of this type of personality. And then I will write down a report about the workshop. So you got everything. I will tell you about words, for example, that you can use for your posts that will attract that sort of clients, or things, pictures that might attract them as well. And so we create like a archetype strategy tailored specifically for your business. So if you want to take advantage of this amazing opportunity, just get in touch. Otherwise, I've always been available. If you have any questions, you can email me at hello@contrastica.com, or reach me on LinkedIn. and here I am.
Yeah, no, that was great, Monica. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge here. We do have a couple of questions, so I did want to get to those. The offer for Contrastica, there are only 10 spots for that. If you are interested, just drop onto the website. It's actually up on platform. If you go and scroll down and look at the provider offers and click on provider offers, you'll see a link there for Contrastica, and you can get go ahead and click on that link and it'll register for you. But we do have, you know, somewhere around 50,000 users and there's only 10 spots. So just so you know, yeah, once those spots are gone, we'll pull it from the website. So just if you wanted to take advantage of it, have a think about it. Look, we're always here to help. Monica, obviously, as I said, she's really easy to find on LinkedIn. If you have like a question and you don't necessarily want to do that, feel free to reach out to the support team at support@digitalboost.co.nz or reach out to Monica. She's such a delightful person who is always happy to have a chat. So please go ahead and reach out if you have something after this where you've chewed on some of the information and you wanted to ask a quick question. So we've got a question here from Rachel, and she also commented there was a little bit of a brand, like Coca-Cola had run an ad stream here in New Zealand, said "Kia ora, mate," and like that actually culturally doesn't work. And it was a really good point to bring up, because pretty much I would say, and I'm sure you agree, Monica, there are so many opportunities to misstep, I guess, sometimes with our messaging, with branding. And that's why it's really important, if you're moving your brand into a global market, to make sure that you are really knowledgeable about the culture of the people that you're communicating with, so that you make sure that you adhere to those cultural guide languages or guidelines or that language, so that there's nothing misconstrued. Because we know that, let's say in English, we have a lot of word collocations, for instance, like, oh, beat around the bush. If you were speaking, if English wasn't your first language, you know, beat around the bush as individual words makes zero sense. But when you put them all together, that collocation makes sense. So it's really important that if you are a person who is reaching out globally, to really think about those things when you're putting them out there. So thanks for drawing that to our attention, Rachel. Here, her question is, what do you do when your target audience is likely to be stressed, overworked, and underpaid, versus your vision for people and companies is to be more mindful? Where do you put your branding?
Can you repeat that? Because there's a lot of branding.
And if you want to have a look, Monica, if you go down and click on, it's on the Q&A, actually, not in the chat.
Okay.
So if you have a look in there, just because sometimes it's easier to read than it is to listen. But basically the question is, and I think the question is basically, the people that she's trying to reach are really overworked and stressed. And what she's trying to sell is being mindful.
All right. So is she a mind coach or something like that, or?
Yeah, maybe. I would say probably maybe somewhere in the holistic health space, or maybe in the wellness space. Feel free to type that in, Rachel. We'll be able to see it.
Oh, hi, Rachel.
Yeah. So if you're working in that space and so the question is, where do you put your branding? You know, do you mean, Rachel, just by asking where do you put your branding, do you mean what platforms are you putting your branding on? Or do you mean like, how do you position yourself as a brand? Maybe if you can just jot that in, that'd be great. Because I think those are two very different types of questions that it could be. And while we do that, we'll give them a moment to type. We've got another question. So let's take a moment here. It says, I would consider us to be a combination of both the hero and the magician. Is it possible to sit in between two archetypes?
Yes, it is actually. During the session, it happens quite often. You're never 100% in one. Okay, you got a little bit here, a little bit there, but there is always something in common that maybe 80% and 20%, you know, there is always something common with other personality, you know, archetypes. So what happened, and when you have an interaction with a brand strategist, or you come into a session like that, we actually go through all of this, and it comes out naturally, you know. We actually find out naturally the percentage of the personalities. Like my business, for example, for my archetype, I've got three archetypes. Well, 80% is creative one, because it's what I do, but there are other ones as well. So
so would you do, how do you see those differences? So when you're going to put out your messaging, are you using, how do you decide which to adhere to when with a brand? If you've got, 80% creative, does that mean like 80% of the content that you're putting out there is, has that kind of voice, or what does that mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, you go for the percentage, if it's that much higher, well, that's but you need to put like a grasp of the other personality within that. So through workshop, we also find out what type of language we're going to use. So I will say, for example, for me, that is 80% creativity, for example, as a designer. I do use creative language, but then if I'm targeting an audience that is, for example, a ruler, I will integrate on my posting a couple of words that actually trigger a ruler behavior, so that I can understand that, hey, my service actually can fits you, because I want to provide you luxury, for example, with my son, So yeah, it's very interesting process. It takes a bit of time, but once you have clarity, because that's it, once you have clarity and the direction, it comes easier,
So we got some clarity on that question from Rachel. So that was about the stressed and overworked, underpaid. So that's her audience, right? She works in leadership, career, and a mindfulness coach. And she wants to know how to focus the archetype.
Okay, well, you know what I can say? We need to make a list of their pain points, was actually what the problem are, because what they want to know from you, that you can solve the problem. For them to come into your service, they're not sure that you can help them, and that problem goes away. So
she's got that list, really. I guess they're stressed, overworked, and underpaid. So I guess that's kind of like a lot of the pain points for her customers. So if you were to say right now off the top of your head, for a person who was leadership, career, and mindfulness coach, what archetype would you put that person in?
Kira could be magician. They want to think transformation.
That sounds, because I mean, really, it's it is that taking someone in. And so then looking at that, and you can do a little research yourself, Rachel, on the magician archetype, and see some of that information there. Now that you've got a bit of an idea, you've got your pain points there that you're working towards. I don't think that I think maybe it seemed like from your message that you're a bit worried that because you're selling something, but these people are that it doesn't line up. But I actually think that it perfectly lines up. So I think that how to focus the archetype, I think now you've kind of got an rough idea of what your archetype might be. Well, we probably be very high percentage. I would go and have a look at the magician and just see how you can use some of that knowledge and apply it to your business now. So we do have, I hope you're happy with that, Rachel. Just please note if you needed more advice. We do have some more questions, so I do want to get to them. It says, do you have any advice for when a very established brand with a big crowd openly attacks your brand online with misinformation, and you're the little new market entry brand? I'm so sorry that that's happened to you, by the way, because that's not playing fair, is it? But maybe that's not your area, Monica, and feel free to say, hey, look, but maybe in your experience over 16, years in marketing, you've seen something similar, and you might have a little bit of advice there for this person.
Sometimes because they're bigger, they think they have a power, but I think, listen, what's the name of this beautiful lady?
Sorry. Oh, they don't have. I don't know who it is.
Okay. Well, I can say, believe in what you do, because if you decided to do as a business, it's because you have something to give, and so don't let people comment just to put you in a wrong direction or to make you feel like you want to quit. Just keep going strong, because people are always talking bad or good, you know, they always do, everywhere, anytime. Just be strong within yourself, believe in yourself, and keep going, because if that is your purpose, don't give up.
And I would also say that, you know, the way that you respond to attacks like that really shows the people who are watching who you are, you know, and what you stand for. And, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just the same as negative feedback. Say you got some negative feedback on something, maybe a product arrived and it was damaged or something like that. They didn't have a good customer experience and they voiced that on your social media. Negative feedback is not anything to recoil from. In fact, it's an opportunity to show those folks that are, you know, watching you online, that you take people's opinions seriously and that you're there to support them and to remedy whatever the situation is, to provide a better experience. So do use it as an opportunity. If it is something like, you know, if it is something that where you need to speak with like legal, I'm not sure, you know, like that's not really my area of expertise. If you wanted to chat with our team a little bit further about, you know, approaches on an individual basis, maybe we can take this offline off of this session and have a chat with you through support. Email support@digitalboost.co.nz. We'd be happy to have just a chat with you about your situation, and so that we can actually really advise you the best way to kind of move forward. I think that might be like the best way to handle it, because it is so specific to your brand. Well-established brand, speaking emotional renting in their brand language. Yeah, I would just let's take it offline and let's address that individually, because it seems like it's very personalized, and I'm really sorry that that's happening to you and for your story, because that's never nice feeling to feel attacked. We've got a question here. It says, is it best to have your brand archetype match your personal archetype? Interesting. Okay, this is a really great question, I think. Yes. One where we're often conflicted with who we are as people versus who we are as a company. So I'm really keen to hear what you have to say about this, Monica.
Well, you know what? There was a study lately that I was reading about, and it sounds like the business that we create always reflect ourselves. You know, you can create a business that its personality is totally the opposite of how you are, because it actually represent your purpose, your drive, and you know, your vision. You know, so I guess I don't know, maybe 90% of the time your business as your personality, definitely. Otherwise it would be so hard to connect, because it's too different, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so if you'd say, but what if, okay, all right, so that's like, that is good advice, because if you're constantly trying to be two personalities, it's really difficult, isn't it? I mean, we do it with work sometimes. I think maybe we work for a brand that isn't who we are at home. But I guess if it's your own business and it's your passion, do you want it to line up? But what if the money, like what if your product is really expensive, right? But you yourself are a bit of a larrikin. You're a bit of a jokester. So that I could see that being the power, whatever that one was, that Gucci kind of brand, but you yourself are a bit silly. What do you think about that? Or do you think that you could find that money in silly? Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's the way that you position it, that, you might can target that posh kind of expensive crowd, I would say. You just need to create a situation that needs to be silly, like, man, I've been working so hard, I'm running out my big company, and I'm so stressed out, and maybe these people, they need a little bit of a joke, but still within
within that kind of space of glam, there's a little bit of humor. I get what you're saying.
So you know what it is? It's creating a story behind it. People love stories. Just make it up a story that, or maybe a story that happened, or maybe not happened, but a scenery that, can fit both.
Yeah, yeah. And there's so much to branding. Look, it's really quite an in-depth like topic to get into in such a short session. And one of the comments here, Rachel's just said, yeah, if you were to have a brand, your brand was not matching your personality, it seems like not authentic comes to mind. Those are people I'm coaching. Well, you know, so we often have to wear many hats in this world. Yeah, so I could see sometimes we're one person in one place and another person in another place. But I guess if you're going to run your own business and you're going to take the time to drive your own business, how great is it if you can actually be who you are? I think that would be just such a win, a sense of freedom that you would feel from that, being able to, and the content would come so much easier if you weren't trying to be somebody else. Yeah.
You know, it's actually the key. Everybody's talking about authenticity now, but you know, it's being real, basically being real. People feel if you are lying or if you're not yourself. And so if they feel that, they're not going to trust you because you feel it. So, but if you're spontaneous and it's about being.
Hey, look, I want to give a good example of a Kiwi bloke. I'm going to give him a shout out, Tangaroa. He owns Farm for Life. Okay. He's a farmer and he has like 250,000 followers on like just LinkedIn or something. Like it's crazy on Facebook. He's got a ridiculous amount of following. I don't even know what he's at on some of his other platforms. Got a YouTube channel. He's got apparel. He's got, I mean, and you would never think a farmer, I guess, would have that kind of brand. But what he's, you know, he is so funny and he's so real with who he is as his life as a farmer. Everyone's just fallen in love with him. You know what I mean? And so it's like he's built this huge brand on just who he was and the industry he was in, and just went, yeah, I'm a farmer, and farming life is quite funny sometimes, you know, and and he's become an influencer through it. Really, he's done some campaigns on lots of things. He's been brought in because he's got such a presence online. His farming has gone next level, and he's a really kind bloke. So I would say, you know, I love that story. You know, I think that's matching what you're saying exactly, is that find your lane and really like drive, because when you find your audience, they will be loyal. And that's what you've said here in this session. I think it's been a really great session. I want to pop over just to the other platforms, make sure I haven't missed any questions. I do have to for some reason, LinkedIn doesn't refresh like throughout, like it doesn't seem live. It's really strange, but I'll just check Facebook as well and YouTube, and we'll make sure that we're all good to go before we sign off today.
I can always come back and talk a bit more.
Yeah. I think it might be nice to do like an actual breakdown where we break down these things and we really workshop them. And maybe that's a workshop in the future where we actually just have the time to chat with each other and talk about our brand in groups or what have you, and really figure out who we are and do something like that. I don't know. It might be something that we do further on, but we don't have any questions coming through. So I think we're good to go. Yeah, cool. And so just remember, if you wanted to have that real personal touch and get started on that, Monica's got that offer on the website, so you can just really jump on and take advantage. I will pull it after 10 though, so just know that, because there are a lot of users that we have, and Monica's one person. So we have to remember that she's one person. You're like a million when it comes to personality and style, but you know, you're one person when it comes to time. So so we need to remember that. Thank you so much, Monica, for joining us here today for this How To plus Q&A session. We really appreciate your time and your expertise. I want to thank you for that. For those of you who, I hope some of you are joining our workshop tomorrow. That's on an e-commerce with Ruben Jackson from Website World. Remember that you do have to RSVP to workshops. You can't just show up online. Like, you can't show up the way that you show up to the webinars, because they're closed. And so, if you want to come to that, make sure you register. Yeah, great set. Thank you so much, Rachel. Thanks for the positive feedback. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Stay warm. It's freezing here where I am. Kakite.
Kakite, Anna.